Hi everyone, let me know if you can see me and hear me.
Thank you, Tina.
I'm going to turn off my volume. Okay, I'm just making sure that somebody can see me and hear me. Hi everyone, Cari here tonight to share with you a Winter Wishes mini album. Excuse me. And tonight I'm going to be showing you some techniques with stamping and decorating and just, you know, I feel like at the holidays we have to keep things relatively simple because we, you know, like to make gifts for people, but we don't have a lot of time. So this is a relatively easy album that you can put together for friends and family or coworkers or whoever you think would really appreciate a gift like this. The one I make tonight is going to be for my mother. So I hope she likes it. I think she will. I'm just going to turn down my lamp for a second. Oh, no, I still look like a vampire. Good. So it seems like everybody can see and hear okay. I'm just kind of letting everybody log on and say hello. I actually have a lot of news to share with you tonight, so I'm hoping that we can get through it relatively quickly and move on to the project real quick. First of all, you know, I'm going to remind you about the Prima event that's coming up in January. So it's a huge event that Prima is putting on, and it's going to be totally amazing. I do have updated news for you regarding that. I've had a lot of people ask me about the make and takes because there's a special package that you can just come and take the make and takes throughout the day. You do get a goodie bag, just like all the other attendees, and the goodie bag has, as I was told, a $50 value. So the make and take package is only $99. The other thing is that the make and takes are not going to be traditionally make and take kind of thing like you're used to. What it's going to be they're going to be more involved and sort of like a mini class, like a series of mini classes. And what's really nice is that you can take your time and meander throughout the tables, meet some of our instructors, play with lots of product, and every make and take table is actually going to have is going to be a complete project. So Frank, for instance, is going to do a set of tags. So you get to do the set of tags. There's also going to be a recipe mini book. So you get to make that mini book at a make and take table. So that's what I mean by mini classes. So it's really, really kind of cool. And it's really nice too because Prima offered lots of different packages and prices so that, you know, if you couldn't afford the very high scale, you know, expensive one and maybe something along, you know, middle of the road, or you just could only come for a day, you know, you have those options. So that's really nice. We have also decided that we're going to add 2 more instructors to our regular lineup on Live with Prima. So I would like to officially announce that Steph Miller and Frank Garcia are both going to be regular instructors on the Live with Prima lineup. So that's really cool and exciting. We've had a lot of great feedback. They're naturals in front of the camera, and I just love them. I think they're both sweethearts and lots of fun, and they bring a lot of energy to the show. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So that's really cool. So we'll have kind of a nice rotation, but we will also keep our guest designers coming on too. And I have a gal from Poland who's going to be joining us in December, and she's going to do an international show for us 3 times. She's going to do 3 of them, and her name is Kazia Krzminska. I may not say her name right, but I think that's how you pronounce it. She does a mix of mixed media and scrapbooking together, and you know, it's just the way that she blends everything is just so wonderful. I think you guys will find her really inspiring. We also are going to do a limited edition Live with Prima show in December, when in conjunction with Craft Stamp Brazil. So we are going to do a show with our friends from Brazil, and so I wanted to make sure that you knew that, and that's also going to be in December 4th. Gosh. Troublemaker. She's texting me. Anyway, so that's really cool too. So we have a lot of exciting things coming up. And then in January, you know, we plan on doing all the CHA sneak peeks as well. So you get a close-up view of all the brand new products that we're coming out with for winter 2013. So who's it? You know who you are, troublemaker. Okay, so I think that's it. I think I covered everything. And let's get on with the project. Tonight we're going to be using our Build-A-Book canvas and clear page album. And I'm just going to quickly go through all of the little goodies that I'm going to be working with for you. We've got some Sade and Crystal centers. Oh wait, let me just, sorry. Sade and Crystal centers with lots of blinginess. We have some candy gems. These are stems with like the little bits of bling attached to like a vine. It's really cool. We have some holiday poinsettias. Some are just plain and some are glittered. So I thought you'd like that, sparkly. I also have our Splendor leaves. Now our Splendor leaves also come glittery and sparkly too. You get 24 leaves in the pack and there's a variety. So we're going to use these and color them. Tonight I'm also going to use this beautiful paintable stamp. Okay, it's called the doily stamp. And some North Country Avon roses. So they come in little bunches and then there's like little bits of gold on the edges of the petals. And we got our big old can of our pillar pack of white Prima flowers. These, you know, if Prima has in stock, so if you really want these, just ask your local scrapbook stores to get them in for you. Hobby Lobby and AC Moore also carries these pillars, so I love these. I like to use them just as is, but you can color them and manipulate them any way you want. I have a hunk of pom-pom lace and fat ribbon, which I love. This fat, crinkly, beautiful ribbon. Oh, and satin. I have like a satin cream also. Then we have our Build-A-Book. And the Build-A-Book comes with a beautiful scalloped edge, covered in canvas, and the canvas is tan, dark brown, and 2 acrylic pages inside. So a lot of variety to work with in one project. All right, there's more bling. I don't know why I have extra bling. Tonight I'm also using the 8x8 North Country paper stack. So there's 48 sheets of paper, it's one-sided, and you get 16 different patterns, and there's 3 of each pattern in here. So you get quite a lot, which I think is nice when you're making a lot of holiday projects. You'll have lots to work with, okay? And it basically comes with all kinds of things in here, including like the little journal tabs that you can cut out yourself and use on cards or a mini book project like this. Oh, we're not using these. I don't know why I brought those. Okay, and then I also have a sheet of the larger tabs too. This is called Forest Notes. So again, maybe a little bit bigger if you wanted to frame your photo or use it for journaling on your projects. This is another wonderful piece of paper that you want to grab. And last but not least, we have our little tiny alphabet stickers, which go well in any kind of card, mini book project, or layout. There's almost 700 stickers in this thing. So, you know, you may not get through it in a lifetime, but you'll have lots of them. Okay, so let's get started. And the first thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to pull out just the acrylic pages, and I've already taken off the white backing, which comes on these sheets because you need it to protect the surface so it doesn't get scratched up before you even get to use it. All right, and I'm going to pull out that doily stamp, which you can see is well used and loved. And I guess I don't really clean my stamps that well, but if you were to use this with paint, which I'm going to do today, just take it to the sink as soon as you're done and rinse it off and it'll come off. It doesn't really affect the image at all because I'm using Ranger acrylic paint in gold. It looks like this. And it's actually kind of a thin acrylic paint, but it holds a lot of pigmentation. Gosh, I can't even talk tonight, you guys. Yes. And then I'm going to grab a foam brush. Now what I like about the foam brush for something like this is that it has a nice even edge, right? So when you go to apply the paint to your stamp, you're going to be able to coat pretty evenly. All right. Now when you're stamping, I don't want you guys to worry too much I know we're kind of going from one slippery surface to another, but I don't want you to worry because if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off immediately and start over. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this puppy right in the middle of the page. All right. I'm going to press firmly. Yeah, you know, not the most clear image, but it's there. Okay. Actually, I can add more paint too. There we go. Okay, so once you start in the middle, it gives you a starting off point, which you really need. And this is because if you start at the top, then the bottom isn't going to look quite right. But if you start in the middle and you stamp at the top and then you stamp at the bottom, it's going to look more symmetrical. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go right below it and stamp half that image, see? And I have paper towel handy because you stamp on your mat, you want to make sure you clean that off so you don't get it in other places you don't want it. Okay, and I'm going to stamp again. So far I have a beautiful row started for me. And now what I'm going to do is, since it's a circular shape, I can go over here and just kind of go in between, like sort of like a puzzle. All right. So don't be afraid to stamp off. You don't have to get the whole image on every time you stamp, which I tell people, but I think that we forget sometimes. Okay. So, see, and it's really not too slippery. I'm not adding on gobs of paint. It's a fine, thin layer. Now, you're probably wondering also, will this come off? Will it scratch off? Not with this acrylic paint, it won't. Once it dries, it will stay on there permanently and you don't have to worry. I always say you got to give your paint time to cure, and usually you're set. I mean, but I can start working pretty quickly after this sets. But don't try to scratch it off with your fingernail or test it until later because it does need time to set. Okay, one more. So see how easy that was because I gave myself that middle spot. Okay, so not too shabby. Not every image is perfect. Some are a little squished, some are a little light, some are darker, but that's okay. That's what you want, okay? You want it to look kind of shabby chic and uneven. Now I have a second one, which I plan on using these clear pages as my front and back covers. Not throughout the album. I could if I wanted to, but I think they look really cool as the covers. All right. And then for this one, actually I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to turn it over so that the scallop is on my left. And I'm just going to do one row. And I'm kind of starting off to the side, but middle. All right. And I've got lots of paint on this brush, this foam brush. It picks up a lot, so I'm not too worried. And I really feel like the gold gives it that Christmassy and holiday kind of elegance. I think that just makes it a little bit richer. So a little bit of paint goes a long way. All right. So there you go. Just a row. That's all I needed. Okay. So now I'm going to set these aside because I did stamp some ahead of time. So they are all dry and ready to go. See, and I'm scratching with my nail and it's not coming off. Okay, so you gotta trust me with this. All right, now for the inside pages of the album, all you have to do, really, is we're gonna like edge the album as we go. Because even though it's covered with this beautiful canvas in dark brown and like a light tan, you can still see chipboard showing through on the edges. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to kind of go, I'm doing them all at once. Not because I'm lazy, but because you know, you can save yourself a little bit of time. You know, if you wanted to make a few of these, these are quick little shortcuts, and you're actually kind of, in a way, inking the edges, but with paint instead of ink. And you're giving it that gilded edge that looks a little bit nicer and kind of finishes it off. So between the canvas, you have chipboard. So you have nice sturdy pages, and these chipboard pages really have a nice weight to them. They're not thin or flimsy at all. They're really nice and thick. Okay, so make sure you get those really well. Oh, my screen just disappeared. Oh, there you are. See, just like that. And then I'll separate them, and they're done, and I can just set them aside to dry. Okay, so that was really easy. That went by really fast. And then you're done with the paint. You can just put it away, or even if you wanted to stamp some of those images on your paper inside the book, you could. So to save time, I did put some paper inside the book already from my 8x8 North Country paper pad. So here's just a plain old chocolate patterned paper and the tan, and maybe what I could do, well, I'm going to add a little more paint to my palette. What I'm going to do is maybe just stamp directly to the page. And by now, you've already done your covers and you've painted around the edges, so now you're kind of like you're like a stamping pro now. Let me make sure. Okay, good. And I think what I'm going to do in this is the same thing. I'm just going to do the one row on my background. Yeah, it doesn't show up super like wow, bam, but it's subtle, and I like that. It's just going to add a little bit of an accent and not entirely cover your paper. And then you're going to have like a nice little border on there that adds a little bit of interest. And it goes with the album. I did put the paper on really, well, I didn't put the paper on, but I just kind of did some ahead of time. So, but I'm going to do one with you guys. See, I'm super fast. You didn't even see me put the paper on? All right, so just to show you, let's see. I'm going to grab in this pack this really beautiful paper that has, they look like trees in the forest. And it simulates some of the patterns on the other papers. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one of those out. And I'm going to cut each paper 6 inches by 5 1/4. I know that sounds like a weird measurement, 5 1/4. But because we have scalloped edges on our book, we really can't go to the edge. And we want to have like a nice border around it. And that measurement seems to work perfectly. So we have 6 inches by 5 1/4. When I go to glue them down, I'm going to use my good old Fabri-Tac because I am gluing paper to a fabric surface. Okay, so I'm going to just, well, what am I kidding? I use Fabri-Tac for everything. I do, because it's my favorite glue. Now when you're going to put your paper down, you want just a little bit of the edge showing from over here, and you're covering your holes. Why? Because there are 5 holes in this page. Basically, you get to pick which ones you want to use. You can use all 5, or you can just use 2 like I did. So I'm going to cover them and then repunch. So I'm not committed to 5, and I can go back and repunch and just have 2. All right. So what I did is I cut several pieces from the paper pad and just covered each page and then repunched the holes. Can you guys see that okay? Maybe not that one. This one you can see. See that? So I covered each side. And for tonight I didn't, I just used 2 of the tan and 1 of the dark brown. Okay. So I've got my first tan piece I covered with red. And then the opposite side, I use this quilted paper. It's like got all the reindeer and some snowflakes and trees and stuff on it, and I just think it's really interesting. Okay. Then for my dark, the next piece will be my dark chocolate brown piece. And I did the same thing again, covered it with the pattern paper, punched my holes. And for the other side, I chose this really pretty aqua, and I just showed just one corner of that pretty border that it has on there. All right, and then my next piece is just the tan piece, which you saw me stamp on the brown. And then the other side is the birch trees. Okay, so you're going to go through and just cut those up and put those right on your pages. So now we are off to a great start. The next thing that I would suggest you do is you're going to take the same coordinating pieces of paper out of your pad. Here, let me get rid of this paint because I know that's just gonna go all over. Because that's how I roll. Okay. And what I did is I took out my Cuttlebug and my favorite Sizzix die that I have right now. It's the Tim Holtz Alterations. And this is the ornamental die. There's two. There's a small one and then there's a regular size one. This is the regular size one. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper from my pad. Okay, any piece will do. Let's see, I suppose any piece will do. And you got to kind of lop it off, right? Because you have just so much of a width here. Let's see. I'm just going to chop it off. And what's great about these papers, like I said, they're one-sided, so you could typically cut, I think, up to 3 because this paper is a little bit thinner. Okay. Now I have 2 B plates with the die, and I'm just going to run it through. Okay. Move my monster, and then you have your die. So I'm going to use these throughout the book as the frame for my photos on each page. Okay, so what I did is I die cut several different coordinating pieces, and like I said, you can run a couple of these at the same time. Okay, and then I went ahead and put the foam tape on the backs too, because I am going to pop these up on each page. So that's quick and easy, right? Like these you could sit and do and just punch out a bunch of them, and then you have them ready to go in your album. And I love getting a lot of use out of my dies. And I have a project I'm going to make for the Live with Prima Brazil show, and I'll show it to you guys. And I use this die and then North Country paper, so it'll be another idea, but you can come and watch that show too. All right, so now I kind of got through that, and all these pieces that I cut from the paper on the pages, save these because these are the perfect width for, you know, let's see, I'll show you. These are the perfect width, so that strip is so perfect you can use it as just to cut off part of the pattern or use it as a pocket. So that's already done for you. And then you have some beautiful long strips which we're going to use in our border punches as we go through the book. So save these pieces and we'll get use out of them. We'll use everything that you cut. All right, saving time on a dime. All right. So here is, look at, I tied my ribbon on, you guys, when you weren't looking. And I just grabbed a really pretty piece of aqua colored fat ribbon, and to me it just reminded me of like wrapping a present. So it seemed so appropriate and perfect for this project. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start decorating. And then we're going to color some of those, oh, excuse me, some of those resist canvas pieces, which I can't seem to find right now. I know they're somewhere. Shoot. I'll find them. It's already chaos here, you guys. It's already chaos. All right. And I do have some of those resist pieces colored already. So, like this one, for instance, comes in the North Country Resist Canvas pack, right? And so I'm going to use this on the cover. It's going to be kind of my base. Now you're thinking, oh, you're going to cover up all that pretty stamping you did. Yes and no. Maybe I'll still have it around the edges, but on the other side, you'll still be able to see it. All right. And I did paint the back side of this. It's covered in paper, and the paper basically keeps the canvas in place as you use your art mediums on it, which is a good thing. You don't want it fraying on you. And all I used was some distress stain. All right, and the distress stain, this one's called Broken China. All right, and as soon as I find my resist canvas pieces, I'll show you how I colored it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue this right down first and get this in place. And as you go, you know, you can tuck it underneath your ribbon. You can have it under, over, you know, however you prefer it. All right, and then I start to kind of stage my flowers and things. And like I said, I have this beautiful pillar pack of white flowers, and I don't mind leaving them white. I mean, I don't feel like I have to color white flowers just because I can. Like, I actually think in a book like this, which is really pretty and holiday-ish, like, it looks good just as is. Because I know we do tend to color them and everything, but for me, I just kind of like this pure, like, snow kind of colored look from the flowers. Okay, and that also saves time. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry's telling me it's very cute. I haven't even hardly even done anything yet. But see how the white flowers just kind of spark it up and they pop really well? And then, of course, I have my bling crystals, which are kind of like snow and icicle-like, right? So these I can add to my centers. And they already have adhesive on the back. Ooh. And then you can just go in. Of course, I like to put extra glue because my stuff tends to move around. And if my mother gets this book, she's going to show it off to her friends. So it's going to be handled. So I always like to just kind of put a little bit of extra just to make sure it never goes anywhere. Okay, and see how you can kind of group a few of them together to make your own center. Okay. I'm just going to squeeze my bottle, get a little goop going, put it right on there. Is everybody doing okay so far? Yes, the fabric tech boogers. You gotta love them. Gotta love them. But you know, I wanted to also give a shout out to Diane from Beacon. She sent me a couple bottles because I must have been complaining that I was running out or something, and they magically appeared in the mail, and I was like, oh my gosh. This is like early Christmas present. She was very, very sweet, and I really appreciate that. And I have to tell you, she's one of the nicest ladies you ever meet. Really. Okay, I think I'm going a little crazy with the flowers, but that's how I roll. You guys know that, right? All right, now remember those candy gems I talked about? Like these really pretty, sparkly bling gems on a stick? Yeah, I want to use one of these. And what I love is that they're kind of on a metal. These are kind of pulled out a little bit. I may have to give those a haircut. But they're in like on a metal, so you can bend them and twist them and cut them apart and use them however you want. Okay, and that means I can like take all these and scrunch them up or leave them really plain and just the way that they were. And sometimes those ends, if they're a little bit too long for your liking, it's okay. You can give those a haircut too. All right, and I think what I'm going to do is just kind of, again, what I love to do is just tuck things in, and I might just, let's see, I think I like it right there. So I'm going to put a little glue on this sucker and just kind of slide it underneath my ribbon and my flowers, and it's going to add to my layers. All right, and I think what I need to do right now too is also glue that ribbon in place too, because it starts to move around a lot as you manipulate your flower clusters and you start tucking things in. I always think it's a good idea just to put a little glue under that ribbon just to keep it from sliding around. You know what I'm saying? All right. And what we're also going to start adding, let's see, I really like these little Avon roses. They're just cute little roses on a stick, and they come in little bunches, and you can cut them off and just kind of tuck them in also around the flowers. Okay. Alright, and I think I need a little red down here. And of course all the flowers coordinate and match with what we're already using, so that also takes a lot of the guessing out. And what's great is that there's some tan and browns in these lines, or in this particular line, so it goes really well with this album. So everything coordinates pretty well. Well, I think it does anyway. Maybe you'll agree. Okay, so far it's looking really cute and sparkly and fun, and you know what else I have are my poinsettias. Do you guys pronounce them poinsettia or poinsettia? So I've always pronounced it poinsettia, but it's actually like if you were to, you know, say it like it's spelled. There's that extra I, the A. Okay, now I don't like these yellow things in the middle, so I just simply cut them off with my scissors. Why? Because yellow really doesn't go with this. Add another bling center. I'm going to add my own bling. That's right. And I can even have this guy right here or something. Yes. So see how I'm just kind of layering and playing, and most importantly I'm covering up that, like, some of that wire that's coming out of this candy gem, like I'm kind of hiding that a little bit. Tell Riley I said hi. Hi, Rye. Okay, I'm going to cut off just using my scissors. See, I'm just kind of bending that flower in half. And it's going to get 3D in a minute here because they're going to go flying. There we go. And just trim them off. So if they don't totally match with what you're doing, you can fix that. All right. And then maybe I'll tuck this one in down here. Yes, I think that's what I'll do. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the way that it looks so far. I'm kind of sticking with just the reds and the whites and some of those little roses. I think that it's looking good, but it's not quite done, as you know, because I have to have my leaves. Yes. So the Splendor leaves, like I showed you guys earlier, they come with some glitter and some fling, okay? And I spread them out, and you get all different shapes and sizes and really pretty variety. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Adirondack Color Wash in lettuce. And I adore this stuff. I remember, I'm an old school Ranger girl, and I have the big bottles, but the lettuce I ran out of. So I moved on to the smaller bottles, but this is still some of my favorite spray out there. Okay. Now, not every leaf is going to be covered evenly and consistently, which I don't mind. I like that there's like variations of the tones in here, but that was it. Okay. And then I also recommend that you guys turn them over and spray the other side, because sometimes with leaves throughout your project, they do tend to stick out, right? Sometimes in our pages, especially in our clear pages. So we want to make sure that we cover both sides, have them evenly sprayed, and we're good to go. And normally I lay them all out at once and spray them all at the same time. And then I let them dry, or you can dry them with your heat gun, whatever you want to do. if you're impatient like me, and then they're ready to go. So that beautiful green color is perfect for this project because this green happens to match exactly the way that I want it to. Okay, so now I can start tucking in that greenery, and it really adds a lot of pop of color, which is what I was looking for. Now, and I already glued that piece of ribbon down, so of course I cannot put anything under there. That doesn't stop me. That does not stop me. Okay, so now I think I have my leaves positioned just so, and I'm going to show you guys in just a second. I know some of you are probably saying, stop already, you don't need to add any more, but you know, I just say the more interesting. That's kind of my motto. And I tell you guys all the time, don't hoard stuff, just use it. So I have to be a prime example of using your stuff. I'm going to actually change leaves things this one. I have to be a good influence. Okay. So you can kind of see where I tuck them in up here, and then I put two down here. And it adds just enough greenery, and I think that's pretty. And it's still light and fluffy and very holiday looking. The gold is really setting the tone. And I have another resist canvas piece that I colored, and it's the deer. He's got some resist showing through here. And what I did is I took, where is it? I don't even have it. I took the Distress Stain and colored him, but he's in walnut. Okay. My walnut has walked away. All right, so I've colored him, and I do want to add him on this cover. I think that he just looks so cool coming out of the flowers. What do you guys think? Or maybe over here. Maybe I can put him over here. No, I didn't stamp the white dots in the deer. That's the canvas. You know what? I think I'm missing my resist canvas. I cannot find it. I'm going to run upstairs and grab my other pack because I really want to color this for you guys so that you can see the magic. Okay? I will be right back. I'm so sorry. Hold on just a second. So sorry. Okay, so the resist canvas pieces come in a pack of 24. And you get all kinds of shapes. And in some cases you get like fun little labels. You get a circle with a design on it, a tree, snowflakes, and sometimes there's like little punches you gotta take it. Okay. So, what I like to do is just prime them with a little bit of water. And I do like to have my paper towel or something to kind of dab it up with. Handy. And I'm just going to lightly pounce on the snowflake. The harder you pounce, the more concentrated color it's going to be. I don't even know if that made sense. Okay, so then let's go back in, dab some of that extra color off, and you can see it's just very, very subtle. Now, I want to show you on a different piece that you can see the design much better. Let's see. I like to prime it. I think that when you add your art medium to it, it just kind of makes the art medium take to the piece much better. And as you add your art medium, you can start to see that white resist come out. Okay. So just like that, voila, there is an image on there which you didn't see before. Now if you're going through your pack and you're not sure what the resist is going to be, hold it up to a light and you'll be able to see what the white resist is going to be. All right, I'll color another one. Oh, here's some more deer, but I'm going to color those. I think I'm going to color, oh, I'll color this piece, and I'm going to color it with the green. So that's, and with the distress stain, again, you've got the applicator right here on the end, and you're just going to apply it directly to your canvas piece, and it's ready. So now you can really see it. There we go. Now it's showing up on camera. Okay. So that's the same idea with the deer. Oops. The darker the color you go, the more color you add, the brighter that's going to be, the white. The color stain for that one was called Peel Paint. So the three that I think work best with North Country are Fire Brick, Broken China, and Peel Paint. All right. These three colors match perfectly with this paper line. And that's what I'm going to be using on the resist canvas as I go. Okay. So it's like magic. It's like magic. All right, so I can set those guys aside to dry. And I'm going to go back to my cover now that I've shown you that fun little technique. I'm sorry, I forgot my resist canvas. I don't know what happened. In this house, anything can happen. Seriously. And I think I am going to have my deer. Hold on, I'm doing it upside down, so let me just see. I guess it doesn't matter. He would look cute there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll do the title of my book with the little letters right in the middle. Okay, so there, got him glued down. He looks pretty cute, or she does. And let's see if I can put something behind it so you guys can actually see. So now you can see like the stamped images coming through and everything. Cute? All right, and that wasn't too terribly hard, right? So if you get a pack of these resist canvas pieces, you can put whatever you want. I mean, seriously, it's just going to be so easy. Okay, now the other side looks like a train wreck. Yes, because it's clear, and now we can see all of our glue and everything, right guys? So remember from that 12 by 12 sheet of paper, the forest notes, this one here, what I did is I cut out all of those notes. Yes, I did, right in front of the TV. And I'm actually going to help to cover some of that with this guy. All right. Now, I don't feel like I need to pop him up on any foam tape or anything. I think that he'll look just fine. Just going right down. And then what you're going to do is decide where you put your flowers based on what you can see showing through the other side. Make sense? Makes sense. All right. So it's basically a mirror image. You're going to just cover up all those fun little glue things you see. And we're going to keep our white flowers rocking. And start adding those. And then fill in. Because right now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to cover up all the stuff on the other side. Okay. All right. So then I can fill in with some roses. Oh gosh, I gotta get more roses out. Hello. Just dump them if you got them. Dump them, dump them and use them. All right. Maybe a couple more of these poinsettias. And I always tear off that green part in the back too if I feel like it doesn't match. It's gone. So I guess I've totally altered this flower, but I haven't really. I mean, I think they're fine just the way they are, but what the heck? What if you get them and you really want to use them and you're like, oh, it doesn't really match my project? Well, it's totally changeable. And you know what you can also do with those yellow middles You could take like a marker or some paint or like a Copic or something and color those yellows and you'll still be fine. All right, so start tucking these red guys in. Let's see here. All right. And I start filling in with my little roses. Ah, here they are. All right. I'm concentrating now, so I'm not talking as much. Hope that's okay. Now the Fabri-Tac works really well on the acrylic. Uh-oh, am I freezing? Okay. So that's just nice to know. So that way you know what you can use on acrylic. I actually get asked that quite a bit, and I think that with hot glue, you're going to be okay. But the problem is with hot glue, sometimes it hardens. And then if you have something that's going to be looked at and manipulated and things, you know, you may want to go with something that dries a little more flexible. All right. So that's just what I think. That's why I always gravitate towards this glue. I don't know if that's happened to you guys, but it's happened to me, and you know, it's not a good thing. Like there's swearing and stuff going on. It's just, you know, avoid all that and just use something like this. Okay. Now I had that one snowflake, and I think he would look super cute on here. I'm going to add my snowflake right here. And then I'm going to add my leaves. Okay, I don't need to add a lot, but I think that this would make a really good introduction page about what the book is, or maybe a little sentiment you want to write to somebody, like, I made this just for you, you're really lucky, I don't normally make stuff like this for anybody, right? No, but you can write like a really sweet little sentiment to somebody and just tell them how much you love them, and, you know, you hope that they cherish their memories and something you've created for them. So that looks pretty good. That's a lot going on there. I think I might even pull him up and stick him a little more red there. Okay, so that's done. Now I painted the other side of the resist canvas on the other side gold, so that's all I see. I see a little bit of gold, and that's no problem. All right, so hopefully they're just going to love what you wrote and cherish it forever. All right, so we're going to set that guy aside. He's done. And we're going to go to our canvas pages. All right. And like I said, the first one is going to be this one here. And I determined that by actually taking my cover and seeing what I liked most sticking out behind it. I said, you know what? The red really pulls it together. It looks really sharp. That's what I'm going to use. So that's what I did. All right. And then what I also want to do, let's see, other pages. Remember those die cuts that I had prepared also? So like I can put that on here, and then I can also kind of say, all right, I'll put this back on and see what I can see through, but I think that that's perfect right where it is. I've already got my foam tape on here. Ooh, and you remember the borders I told you, like those long strips that we cut when we, like I was telling you about, to save those? Yes, we can use like, we can make our own border on here. Oh gosh, giving me a time. All right. I'm going to put a little extra glue, but okay, so here are some of those strips I was talking about, and I've actually kind of die cut some of them with my border punch. I shouldn't say die cut, I should say I border punched them. All right, and I think what I'm going to use is maybe one of these behind it, just to add a little something something. You can have it sticking out on the bottom. Yeah, that'll look good. Okay, I'm going to glue it right down, and then I'm going to give it a haircut. So nothing goes to waste. Everything's going to be used. This little border punch I used here is from this Martha Stewart border. But use whatever ones you have on hand, whatever your favorite ones are. Okay. I'm just going to flip it over. Good. All right. I'm going to move it down. That's what I love about wet glue is you can still move it around a little bit before you have to commit. Okay, so easy so far, right? I've got that cute little, once this dries too, I can kind of put my fingers underneath it and just kind of curl it up a little bit. And then I'm going to start adding some stuff to it. Not a lot, because it's like you don't want to overdo it, but you know, you still want to have fun, so you gotta let yourself have fun. But I can just kind of start adding some of these white flowers again around the corners. Right. So just a little here, a little there. So the rest of this is really, you know, you've got your paper down on your book, and it's really basic, you know, basic assemblage. And this is what's going to make it great for you, because you can just decorate and move on, you know, and still have fun. Still have fun. You know, I think I'm going to color this little snowflake too. No, I didn't put water on it. I need to. Where's my water? And this is something the kids could do for you too. If they wanted to get involved with making the project, you could have them do all the, you know, some of the coloring, and that would be kind of fun. Or you can say no, you know, because you want to have all the fun. All right. Oh, thank you, John. Oh gosh, we're running out of time. You can put your little leaves around and just call it a page. And then add a little tab that you can journal on or add a date on. It's perfect. Okay. You know, I cut out all of those little things from the paper in the book. And like I remember I told you, like, these little guys are just so perfect to add in. There's a specific one I want to use right now. I'm going to use, this one. It looks like a little crest, and it has like green border. And now when I put this on here too, I'm only going to add glue to this one side right here, because then that leaves it open for me to just slide a picture down in, just have it just overlapping the photo, and I can add that later. So that's really it, right? I can maybe add a couple little roses too. And what the heck, let's do it. So what do you guys think? I mean, for the holidays, are you planning on making a lot of your own gifts this year, or do you usually make gifts every year just to have fun with it? Or there you go. Okay, simple, right? All right, so now we've got this really pretty quilted side. Oh gosh, I'm You know, this is what happens to all of us. We give ourselves less and less room as we create here, huh? I gotta push back the white flower pillar explosion. All right. So maybe for this page, what I might do, I also used some of my scraps and just covered a plain old tag. All right. So now I have automatic tags that can just go right in the book and they match. It's perfect. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to dress this page up with a little bit of, I think maybe have a lace border and just have the tag go over it slightly. I don't know. You know what? I think I'm just going to have it go along the bottom edge of the paper. So I'm going to take my glue and just do a nice straight. Well, it's not really straight. I'm just going to do a line. Who am I kidding? And add some of this gorgeous Prima lace. It's cream colored. It's elegant looking, and I have, you know, some scraps of it left from a previous project. So, you know, it's another good way to use up some of your scraps. And of course, that lace, you can totally cover it, but it adds just a little bit of elegance to the page. And maybe, yes, maybe I could just add that right there. Oh. And I'm going to put a little cream bow that goes with the lace over the top. And this tag actually can be used for journaling, or, you know what I could also do is just use it for, just to be the background to my photo too. So I just did a simple knot at the top. It's really pretty. I'm just going to have it right here. Glue it down. Just like that. Okay. And then I can go in with my little cutout tabs, which are very handy. This one has the deer on it, which actually kind of matches paper. Nah, it's too busy. Let's see. This may look kind of cute here. This is like one of those little scallop kind of bracket looking guys, and I think he would look kind of cute coming out from behind the tag a little bit. I think that would look cute. I'm going to do that. Pull him up a little. Alright, just go in. And I have absolutely no white flowers left. How can that be when there are so many in that pillar pack? Don't know. This bigger one kind of behind, and this smaller one up here at the top. Alright. Just like that. It's coming together. It's alright. It's coming together. Okay. And then maybe tuck another one in down here. Okay. Yeah, why not? So once you have your photo in here, like I'm envisioning my photo. I know this looks really busy, but I'm envisioning my photo right here with just a little bit of this showing, right? If you can imagine, and then you can kind of write something over here. I know it's hard. I think I always feel like once you add photos, it just looks so complete and finished and perfectly put together. Photos, I think, should always be the center of your projects, and that's usually how I determine the colors I use, kind of products I use. You know, do I want an elegant touch to it, or do I want casual? You know, there's all kinds of things that, you know, photos really set the tone, and that's, you know, that's, and whenever anybody asks me what my inspiration is, it's always that. always. I mean, that's why we do this, right? Not just to have fun. I mean, of course we can have fun, and that's, you know, our thing, but that should always be the reason that you choose different things to go with it. And I already know, like, all these colors are in, like, my collection of Christmas photos. I mean, it's perfect. My tree is green. My decorations are multicolored. So that's it right there. All right. Like I said, just imagine your photo right here in the center, and it's just going to make the whole page come together perfectly. So now we've got a whole page finished. Very, very quick. I know I've got more to do. I'm going to go for it. All right. Now this strip of paper, I decided to use my scallop punch. It's a scallop punch that I got. I was actually with Donna Sullivan, and we got this at AC Moore. But it's just an EK punch with big scallops, and it shows holes, but that's really only for embossing. It really only embosses. It doesn't really make extra holes in your stuff. I'm going to trim this strip down just a little bit. Probably about an inch or so. And I think I want to put that right there on this page. And I'm not measuring. I'm just going to lay it down and then cut it. I know it's almost impossible to finish mini albums in the amount of time that we have, but you know, these classes are great just to inspire you to use your stuff, show you how to use your stuff, and give you a jumping off point. I mean, really, that's why we do these. And we know that you guys love them and appreciate them too, of course. But sometimes you just need that jumping off point, you know, or somebody to show you how to use something that's in your stash. Okay, I got a funny story. Did you guys hear the story? It was on CNN online about George Bush on Election Day. Yeah, he got all confused, I guess. They said on his ballot, and he voted for Obama, and then he changed his mind and he filled out another sheet, but then he ended up turning in the wrong sheet, the one where he made a mistake on. So he voted for Obama, and then he was like asking them to take his vote out and like so he could redo it, and I guess it's against the law. You can't do that. But did you guys hear that? Young George. He's not even, yeah, it's not even the old one that did that. But I was like, are you serious? That man, he makes me laugh. How could you not laugh at that? All right, so I put a little lace, put another little tab up here at the top, because I think that would be super cute, just kind of tucked in underneath. Can you guys see that? Like I just tucked them in underneath here. Okay, and this is basically where my photo is going to go, right? So that's perfect. Perfectly perfect. I'm going to grab one of my bigger red flowers. I'm going to go red for a minute here. Oh. Technical difficulties here. Ah, there we go. Now, wouldn't that be funny if one went up and hit the camera? Alright, so I'm just going to kind of do a little mini cluster up here with just that and some roses. Add my centers too. Adding a little glue as I go. Alright. Gonna kind of, you know, this leaf is kind of big. If sometimes you need a smaller leaf, just trim off the bottom of the leaf so it's not so long. It kind of shortens it and it makes it easier for you to tuck in and use in your smaller arrangements. Oh, here's another one. So just give it a little haircut. And I'm going to kind of put those up around here and here. Oh my gosh, my mom is totally going to love this. You know, I think I could just like slap a piece of paper down, put a flower on, and give it to her, and she'd love it. No, she knows how much hard work goes into it too, and she's always so appreciative. I always find her snooping around in my scrap room too, like my scrap area, I should call it. It's not really a room, it's my living room, and she's always like looking to see what I have, and you know, hinting at things that she really likes something, and I'm like, Mom, would you like to have that? She's like, yes! She's so funny. She's like not even really that good at it. She thinks she's being so sly. Oh gosh, she cracks me up. Okay, so I can tuck in. And I'm going to squish these flowers too a little bit. Squish them. Sometimes it makes them bulkier, kind of flips them out a little. Look at all the different sized little white flowers you get in that whole pack. I mean, you get like teeny tiny ones to bigger ones, and you get all sorts of stuff, you know, sizes to play with too. So, all right, so that's really it for this one. I mean, that's pretty simple, and I think that's plenty. And then that's where your photo is going to go. You don't need a lot going on because you want the photo to take center stage once you put it on here. You could add bling swirls too, and keep going with it, but really you don't need to. You know, the paper kind of lends a lot of that and sort of the beautiful elements, so you know, you don't really have to go too crazy. I think for this one I might make this one a pocket page. Yes, I don't know if I like that one. That one's too much chocolate, I think. Maybe. This one might be cute. Just the deer on here. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, here's some red. I think the red would look kind of cute on there. Color on my tags. Oh, my tag is red. I think maybe, what do you guys think about this one? I think that looks alright. Make sure you only glue the sides, the bottom, so that you leave your pocket open. I can't tell you how many times you get going with your glue. You get a little glue crazy. And I can put another little piece of, I can put a little strip of red. Use this red piece that you cut off for your background page. It's the same length. And it just kind of cuts it up perfectly. Right, just like that. And then you can add a layer with your lace. You can just have it just at the top of the red. I think that looks kind of cool. Okay. Yeah. You don't want to embellish in front of your card upside down. Yeah, that's not good either. I totally get that. I've done that. So like I've had to cut the card in half and like attach it to another card. Yeah. Done that too. That's when you know like you're having too much fun and you're just like not paying attention to anything you're doing. Alright, this piece is gonna be a stinker. Okay. Perfect. And then I can just take a tag that I've prepared ahead of time. Stick it right in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of that pretty satin ribbon at the top. I might even, yeah, I'll leave it as a little knot. I was thinking about a bow, but I don't need to do a bow. Alright. On there. Okay. Put your little tag in there, and then you can add one of those little labels I cut out. I cut out like a million. Like this little guy here. Kind of cute. Just coming underneath or just at the bottom. Something like that. Yeah, at the bottom. This is really taking shape. I know it's getting late, so this is going to be it. And you know what I could do is post pictures of the whole thing completed and put together for you guys so that you can see everything. You know, I really always try my hardest to get through a whole project, but I think you've got the idea. I think that we've played with a lot of different elements here. We've got our ooh, you know what I might do? I might put that on the bottom and like put. It's kind of fun to use flowers, and then put your little journal tabbies in the center. All right, just like that. And then place a couple leaves around it. And it's simple and it's sweet and it's done. Just like that. See? You can add a little blingage, you can add more little flowers. Yes, which of course I will do. I'm giving myself enough room to do that. Okay. Yeah, see, this could go on all night. I could just keep adding flowers and it just doesn't, I don't get tired of it. You like it, Ramona? Thank you. It's a really sweet comment. You guys are always so sweet. So, you're done. So using your little journal tab as a flower center, I think is perfectly acceptable. And I think you should do it. Okay? The other side's done. So we've accomplished, let's see, 2 whole pages plus the cover. And this is going to be a really fun, thick book. It's going to be really chunky, which I love. I've already punched the holes out ahead of time. I may have covered a couple with flowers, but that's no big deal. Just maneuver your rings around it. Okay. I think I may have grabbed really big rings for this too. But it's a start. So, you know, you have the foundations, you know what you're going to do. You're going to go through and just kind of, you've got your paper backgrounds, you've got your die cuts done, you've got your fun embellishments. You know, you just, what I like to do, wait, there's something covering this, hold on. What I really like to do, and I'll tell you guys, is, oh, maybe I didn't punch a hole for that. There we go, sorry. Is I really like to, I enjoy pulling out like a dozen different things and just plopping them on my table of all different various shades and colors and things that I think are going to match what I want to use, right? So put that all on your table and just start mixing and matching and grabbing all that stuff as you're building your project, because that's really going to help you take shape, and you're going to put some unexpected things together that you didn't even think of before. But if you have that kind of combination out in front of you, then that's going to work really well, right? You're just going to keep pulling colors, putting things together. It's all going to match. It's going to look great. Your photos are going to look beautiful in it, and this is going to be just a nice gift, all right? And, you know, now we can really start to see what it looks like together. Okay. Because I really like to do this. Sometimes I'll just flip through the book as I'm building it and just see where I want to put things and see how it looks. And then once you get one made, then you're set. Then the rest will all come together for just easy, you know, assemblage of a gift for somebody. So that's the hard part, is deciding the first time. Once you do it the first time, all you got to do is copy what you did. And you can make a few gifts at a sitting, you know. So that's it. So we've got our back cover. with a clear page. I'll put something really pretty, another one of my cutouts, you know, one of my die cuts. So I cut out several. I just kept going, you know, so that'll go there and just decorate. That's really it. I mean, I did most of it, and I think you guys would pretty much know what to do after that. Yeah? Oh, Chris, thank you. Chris has power now. She didn't have power for a long time. She's downstate from me. So there, I know a lot of people still without power, which, you know, I pray that they get some back soon. All right. You guys are such troopers. What, Sharon's, she's got a cake recipe in the chat? Nice. She just got back? Okay, one other idea I wanted to show you, and this is I was going to make for the projects aren't really approved yet, you guys, so I'm not really 100% sure, but this was a cute banner I made with the same die. I used chipboard for the back, and then I used the big white flowers again and decorated. So this was one of them. So see all the ideas you can get from a die and a paper pad and, you know, a white pillar pack of flowers. You know, it's endless. I also got some really pretty, you know, the glass clear bulbs at Michael's that you can get. And I also decorated a pretty ornament. And I have my deer on the front. And I just punched out like a scallop circle. See? But that was like, this is another ornament idea I was going to show for the Brazil show too. Same paper line. So that's going to be, if they approve the projects, that I'll be making them on the show on December 4th. If they do not approve them, then I shall be putting them on my blog. Yeah, that die was, it's a Sizzix die. It's one of Tim Holtz's alterations dies, and it's called Ornamental. Okay, so it's like a bracket. This is like a great size for card fronts too, for journaling, to, you know, mat your photos with. And then, you know, I showed you some ideas on how you can use it. I don't know if spellbinders would cut chipboard. You know, I gotta be honest, I don't have any of those. I don't have spellbinders dies. Well, I do probably, but I've never used them. Where's the other ornament? Oh, I didn't bring it down. I gotta save some surprises for this show. Oh, you want me to show the banner again? Sure. So December 4th, if these are approved, I will make this again. Okay? And it's the die. It says joy. You can put any word on there that you want, you know. Did you pick a winner, mods? Like, we got to pick a winner from our chat. We always pick a winner during every show, so we always encourage people to come and watch the shows if you can and participate in the chats, and you're always going to be in the drawing for a prize. We do a chat prize. So anyway, I'm going to sign off and stop recording now, but thank you everyone for coming. And you guys are wonderful, and I really appreciate everything that you've done and coming to the shows and showing your support and enthusiasm. I look forward to many more with you guys. Tell your friends, have them come. All right? Thanks so much.